On November 26, 1930, news spread across Canada that an entire village had vanished overnight, without a single trace. No signs of struggle, silent village. People were terrified. What happened to the tribe living by the remote Anjikuni Lake? Welcome back to Wojak Reality. On November 26, 1930, the front page of Canada's The Matting Daily Journal published a headline, Village of the Dead. It was a very cold evening in November. A hunter named Joe LaBelle was walking through the snowy forests of North Canada. He had spent the whole day hunting animals near Anjikuni Lake, but time passed so quickly he didn't notice when it got dark. Joe knew there was a small Eskimo village near the lake. He had visited this village before. The people there were very friendly. They always welcomed travelers with food and a warm place to stay. So, Joe decided he would spend the night in the village again. As he walked toward the village, the night was very quiet. There was no sound of people, no dogs barking, only the sound of Joe's own footsteps in the snow. This felt strange to him because usually when he came here, he could hear people talking, children playing, and dogs making noise. When he got closer, he could see the village huts. From some of the huts, thin smoke was rising into the cold air. This meant fires were still burning inside, but still there was no sign of anyone. Joe entered the village, expecting to see people inside the huts, but when he looked inside, he was shocked. The village was empty. There were no people, no animals. It was as if everyone had just disappeared. But here's what made it scarier. Inside some huts, food was still cooking on the fire, but it was burnt now. Sewing needles were still stuck in half-stitched clothes. Everything looked like the people left in the middle of their daily work. Joe noticed something else. There were dogs tied to posts, but the poor dogs had died of hunger. What was even stranger was that food was lying nearby, but the dogs couldn't reach it. Joe started feeling very scared. Then, he found a freshly dug grave. It seemed someone had buried something just a few days ago, but where were all the people now? The most shocking thing, there were no footprints in the snow. Only Joe's own footprints were there. It was impossible. How could an entire village disappear without leaving any tracks? Joe ran as fast as he could to the nearest telegraph office and reported what he had seen. Soon, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP, came to investigate. They thought maybe someone attacked the village and killed everyone. But there was no blood, no broken items, no signs of a fight. The lake was completely frozen, and the villagers' boats were pulled up on land. If they had escaped using boats, the ice would have been broken, but it was not. The police searched the area for months, but no one was ever found. Finally, they closed the case, calling it an unsolved mystery. Years later, in 1984, two writers, Roger Bohr and Nigel Blundell, wrote an article saying maybe aliens had taken the villagers. Some hunters told them they had seen strange flying objects over Anjikuni Lake. But no one had proof, so most people did not believe this alien theory. Even today, after nearly 100 years, no one knows where the people of Anjikuni Lake went. This village disappearance remains one of the biggest mysteries in Canada's history.